Okay, let me review how to bring things in from Adobe Illustrator into Flash. In this case, I'm making a music website for the music department that has some. I'm going to be building a website that has music on it, and so I wanted to have some background graphics. And so in this case, I've been working on some graphics. I don't know if I like that one there. I might move it down below like that. There we go. Yeah, maybe something like that. So I have some background graphics that I want to bring in from Adobe Illustrator. These graphics were made inside actually these graphics were downloaded from a website. It's iheartvector.com. So let's go and look at that for a moment if I can get the internet to work here. So that website is called iHeart, H-E-A-R-T, vector, V-E-C-T-O-R.com. Oh, yeah, there we go. Hopefully that works. There we go. And then, so this is kind of like a stock photography or a stock vector art website. So, you know, it'd be like instead of having stock photography, we have stock vector artwork. So there's a whole bunch of them. You can just download. Some are free, some you're going to pay for. You know, there's a lot of free stuff. It'd be great for you to use it. I'm using the city swirls. I think they'd be a nice background. No, I'm not using all of them. I'm just using some of the ones here. And so I downloaded this and opened it up in Adobe Illustrator and altered it a little bit so that I could use it in my Flash project. So let's talk about bringing our Illustrator files in to Adobe Flash. The first thing I want to do is make sure I prepare it properly inside of Illustrator. Right now, if you're looking at this, there's a lot of small objects all over the place. But what you want to do before you bring it into Flash is to group these things together. In this case, I have my stars grouped together, I have my city grouped together, I have a left swirl, right face, middle swirl, right swirl, and then the West Valley logo here because it's going to be a West Valley website, so I just have a green logo there. And it doesn't really matter about placement. You'll be able to, when we import these into Flash, each one of these layers that you see here will become a movie clip. So one of the things that you want to make sure you do when you import this or bring it into Flash is before you do that, make sure you take the pieces you want to kind of be grouped together inside of Flash and put them on their own layer. So I want to have these grouped together so that they can do separate things inside of Flash. Okay, and the logo is all kind of on its own layer. So take the objects you want to be together as movie clips inside of Flash and put them together in separate layers. To make new layers inside of Illustrator, you just go under the little pop-up menu that's over here in the layers window and say new layer. And then once you say new layer, you just make your objects in there or drag them around inside there in the layer window just so that everything's separated into separate layers. And so let me delete this one I just made. And let me save this file. After I've organized that, I can go over to Flash. If I can find it here. And again, inside of Flash, I'm just going to import this Illustrator file. So to save it out of Illustrator, you want to save it as the plain Illustrator AI, .ai file, which is the native Illustrator file. And once you've saved that out, you can open up Flash. Hopefully it opens up here. There it goes. Okay, now one of the things to keep in mind also too before I did that, inside of Illustrator here I've actually made sure that I use the size that I want inside of Flash so that the objects are the right size. If you look at the dimensions that I have here, I actually have a 640 by 480 pixel image inside of Illustrator, and so when I bring that into Flash it'll fit on the stage, and I'm going to use the 640 by 480 in Flash also. So that's just an option when you're inside of Illustrator. If say File, New, you can actually put in any size you want. Right now the default is letter size, but they do have web sizes inside of Illustrator, and then the common ones 640 by 480, 800 by 600, 1024 by 768. So those are common ones that you could use. I'm just using 640 by 480 because I'm making a rather small size. Okay, so inside of Flash, I'm going to go under File, New, and I'm going to hit OK. New ActionScript 3 file. And then inside there I'm going to go under modify document, and I'm going to make sure that my size is underneath is 640 pixels by 480 pixels, and then it'll match the dimensions that I had inside of Illustrator. So let's bring in our piece from Illustrator into Flash, or into Flash right now. Let me close some of these windows. I got way too many windows open. Way too many windows. Okay. So to bring the Illustrator file into Flash, I'm just going to go under File, Import, Import to Library, or maybe we could say Import to Stage, and then convert it into a movie clip. I don't know sort of what I really want to do yet with my pieces. Let me think. Should I import it to Stage? And then, yeah, let me make it a movie clip first. So before I import to Stage, I'm going to say modify or insert new symbol, and let's make a movie clip, and let's call this background graphics. Okay. Now I'm going to say File, Import to Stage. Then hopefully I can find, I don't remember where I've saved my Illustrator file, but hopefully it doesn't crash here. What's going on? So then I'm going to find my file, wherever I put it. I think I just slapped it on the desktop. And then it's going to come up with a message. At least I'm hoping it comes up with a message. Just a minute. So after I've got to the import window here, you'll see it is taking all the pieces and kind of split them up into individual paths. But what you can do is you could close the layers that you see here, and so it took each layer that I had inside of Illustrator and made it into a separate kind of layer that you see here inside of Flash. And what you can do is you can make each one a movie clip. You don't have to give it an instance name right away. You can just make each one a movie clip just by clicking this box, and you can give it an instance name later if you need to. Some of these I'm probably not going to need to. And then when I'm all done clicking create movie clip, if I just say import, it'll go and import each piece and put it in this. It should put it on the stage. And as you can see, it also puts them as individual pieces on the stage, as well as puts it here in the library as individual objects. So if I twirl this down, you'll see each one of these. Okay, each one of those is a movie clip automatically. So then I can animate them. So that's what I'm going to do next. Is I'm going to animate each one of these pieces, and then as you can see, the logo is all by itself, so we can actually take that and put it into its own movie clip even out of this. Well, it is a movie clip already, but I don't even want it there for now. I can remove this layer. So that's how you can bring in your files from Illustrator into Flash.